Hello, guys. Thank you for joining us. I'm Chris, and this is Brandon next to us with 540 Flips. Leroy will be here shortly. He's running behind. So, welcome to what I renamed the show as to Pickin and Grinnin at the Barn podcast. So, we're trying to get an official thing going on here. It's been 3 or 4 shows now, so we're trying to get an official name, and we're going to get started with that, and I feel like I feel comfortable with that. I like that because we're talking about reselling stuff, and then we can talk about just any old thing that pops up. You never know what's going to happen. But let's introduce you to Brandon here. Brandon is he's a full time reseller also. Brandon, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Brandon. My channel is 540 Flips. I've met Leroy at the 127, along with Eric and Tim and a bunch of other guys. We all hung out for a while down there. And then Leroy crossed paths and introduced me to, um, I can't remember your name. Is it
And Chris,
Chris?
yes,
Chris. I didn't want to say the wrong name. It's Chris. But yeah, I actually started. Leroy coined it as hard goods reselling um, in January of 2023. I became self-employed in December of 2021, but all of 2022 I was selling sports cards, and me and my wife run a bulk submission for a grading company, and so we were doing that. And then the beginning of 2023, I told her, for one, the card market softened, so it's harder to pay. I'm sure y'all watch Carry American Arbitrage, and he jokes around selling $1.50 sports cards, but that's actually a thing. But it's hard to pay your bills when you're only selling, one, two, $5 cards. That takes a lot of work, listing, shipping, and all that, keeping that going. So it was also my hobby, and I was mixing my hobby with my paying my bills, and it became conflicting. And so I wanted to do something else. And I told her I was either going to go back out into the workforce, which I wasn't opposed to, but I was going to give something else a shot first. And I happened to go to Goodwill, spent $10 and turned that $10 into $120. And I was like, okay, there's definitely something here. And, I started watching YouTube to learn more about items, try to branch my knowledge out. And just with some dumb luck, some sales I went to hit big on, finding some items that had really good value at a very affordable price kind of helped push the bankroll along, and been going at it ever since.
that's awesome, man. That's pretty. So, you do a lot of hard goods then. So, cards is not your
Well,
main.
Leroy says hard goods, but I actually do clothes and stuff like that too.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
So,
I sell
so
pretty much anything if it'll make money.
right. Yeah, I hear you there. I'm the same way. What is your take on clothes? Is that do you enjoy doing clothes?
So yes, I do. I know it's a pain in the butt, or taking the photos and listing. But if you get that down, there's a few reasons I like clothes. A, you can find them everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
B, people are always needing them.
Mm-hmm.
C, they're normally cheap, and D, they don't break when you ship them.
That's
So
that.
there's a ton of advantages to clothing. Now, are they necessarily fast sellers? Some things yes, other things no. But there was just it's something that's always there, and able to be sourced at a good price. So
Right.
I keep my eyes open on that as well, and mix it into the toolbox. So
Right, right. AZ Cat says hello, Sue. It's nice to see you here. And she also says she's going to be spending the night listing and cross listing. You're going to be busy. You will be busy. I want to talk about the clothes thing. I hate clothes. I do. I absolutely hate them. I hate clothes. I hate shoes. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I do sell them. I can't help myself. I'm just a sucker to pick them up. Like shoes. The reason I hate shoes is I got a bin over here underneath the table there. I got probably 6 pairs of shoes in there that need to be cleaned, and I don't have junk shoes. I got a pair of Harley Davidson boots in there. It's got some mud and stuff on the bottom soles and stuff. It's got to be cleaned out. They're leather boots, so they got to be conditioned and all that. And then I got some other tennis shoes in there, very nice tennis shoes in there. They just need wiped down and a little bit of the I can't remember what that stuff is. It comes in that tube and you just put it on there and you wipe it on the shoe and scrub it and it cleans it real good. I can't remember what that stuff's called, but if these are
I
shoes
use
that I can't.
Magic Eraser.
I have used
Use
a
a
magic
Magic.
eraser.
Yeah.
I sure have. See, it's not there, but I don't have a I'm not easy accessible to a washing machine. I have washed them before, uh, especially white ones, and then let them sit out in the sun to dry out, and it seems to work really really fine. It's just what I got to actually physically do the cleaning on them because the colors or stuff I don't trust putting them in a washing machine or the it just I don't like doing them. And then clothes, like for example, you're talking about how clothes sit a while. I mean, at one point I was picking up a lot of T-shirts, uh,
Hmm.
and then if they wouldn't sell, I'd try and sell them on Whatnot. And then if they wouldn't sell on Whatnot, I'd send them back to the thrift store. But now I've got to where the items I picked up, so a little better quality items. I'm just not picking up a random thing. I know what I'm looking for now. But what I don't like is like, cause like I got a Patagonia women's puffer vest. Things, I mean, I had to list it used because there's no tags on it. But I think it. I don't believe it's ever been worn. I don't believe it's ever been put in
Right.
a washing machine or nothing. And I only got it listed for $67. The sucker's been sitting in my store for 3 months now. And I can't get rid of it. And I'm like, this is Patagonia. What's going on? So clothes are just, I really don't like clothes.
Well, the thing, you mentioned it's a puffer vest and you've had it for 3 months. I mean, if you
Right.
think about that, you listed it in kind of like August time frame, I guess.
Yeah.
And
Like I kind of,
likelihood people weren't shopping. Like I just started putting in a lot of my jackets and coats right now.
oh, you
And
just started.
yeah, about probably the last few weeks, I started listing a lot more of my jackets and my coats because now is when people are shopping for them. And there's a lot of people that talk about end and sell similar and refreshing your listings and all that stuff. I'll be honest with you, I don't do that because I just sold an item last night that I know I listed many months ago and it was still
Right.
found. And the way I look at it is if you're selling items like if you're putting Christmas up in May, it's likely not going to sell. It's going to sit there because you have less traffic looking for
Mm,
Christmas. So
yeah.
at that point, it may get lost by the time somebody's looking for a Christmas item. It's been sitting in your store for several months. And then if new listings are coming up, you know, I don't even know that it's eBay necessarily hides them, but I think most people in the reselling space, they're researching the values of their items.
Hmm.
And let's say you have that Patagonia puffer vest up. It's $67. Well, if it's not selling, people can go in Terapeak or whatever and see like when you listed it, how much you had it listed, how much you have it priced for. And if they're seeing you're not selling yours at 67, well then they're likely going to be putting theirs at 60,
Hmm.
65, whatever to
Right.
undercut you a dollar, $2, whatever. And then
Right.
theirs are the ones getting bought. So I don't know that it's necessarily eBay or if it's like sellers competitively pricing their items that continuously pushes yours further along.
Right.
So,
Yeah. I understand that too. I live in the mountains, in my mind, people, the fall came in late September. And so in my mind, people are looking for stuff like that. Now it's November
hmm
and it's cold, it's getting cold. So nobody's looking for a puffer vest and maybe in the springtime they will. So I'll leave it up. But I, I, I can't help myself from buying clothes, but I hate buying them. I even got a pair of Carhartt jeans. I've had listed for 3 months now, and I may have them. I don't think I have them overpriced. I got them listed pretty cheap if I remember right. But then that could be the problem too. They could be cheap. You know, I had an item. I had an item I just found in my store. I've known it's been there, but I haven't really had a good title for it because I didn't know what it was. And it's a pneumatic. It's a Bosch avionics something other pneumatic thing that goes to a tool. And I just found that out that it's a pneumatic thing. Somebody looked it up and on that
That was
on
me.
recent. Was it you that looked that up?
That was me. Yeah. My
Yeah.
name is different on District because
Oh, okay, okay.
that's my sports card username. Because
Oh,
I actually
okay.
have a sports card YouTube channel and everything as well. And when I was actually onboarded onto District a few months ago for a sports card platform that I am an authorized dealer for.
Oh,
So
okay.
since I'm onboarded under that name, when I
You just
joined
left it
the
there.
Reseller Information Network, I joined under that name. So it has a different name on there. I don't know if people have put that together, like Eric and them, they know my name is Brandon, but I don't know that they like if people have connected the dots of who it
Well,
is.
if
But
they
Tim
watch
knows who
this,
I am on there.
if they watch this, they know now.
Yeah.
But so let me tell you about that. So I took your advice. I did some more research. I did exactly what you did. I actually found my listing, pictures of my listing under another website. It's the same exact thing. It's my picture, but I can't get into the website because my IP address is blocked from looking at the website of where my item is sitting. Okay, that somebody else obviously took the picture. Well, I obviously took my pictures and used it. I don't care because it's kind of like somebody said something about somebody said, well, they're probably going to sell it and then buy it from you and then make. So what I did is I went around and I relisted it, redid it, added a new title to it and all that, added things to it, and I listed it for $400 because the sucker's never been used. It's like new out of box, and that's what I listed it for. And I listed $400, and I got more activity on it and since I've done that than I've had in the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm serious, and I was like, yeah, that's the problem. I had it listed too low all the time, and so now I told my wife, I says, hey, I'm $400. If someone makes the best offer on it, it's gone. It's just time to get going. Uh,
Right.
Sue Sue says she'd rather do clothes than electronics. I'm the
I
complete
can't blame
opposite.
her.
I'm
I,
the
I
complete
can't blame her
opposite.
for that.
Yeah,
I so I'm like you said, you can't help but buy clothes even though you hate listing them.
right.
I will buy video games or like stereos and things like that, and then they just sit there. Now, I'm not exaggerating. I did a huge electronic video game buyout on a guy.
Oh wow.
I have multiple Super Nintendos, multiple Nintendo consoles. I have 7 original Xboxes, Sega Genesis consoles, like I got stuff everywhere for video games, and I just hate messing with them. I don't even know why I bought it. It was the opportunity was there. I don't find a lot of the retro game systems and stuff when I'm out, sourcing. And I was just like, well, let's go for it. So I made the buy, and they're just sitting there because I like playing them when I was younger, but I can't stand selling them. So
Well, see, I completely
what's up,
different.
Leroy?
Hey, Leroy, how you going,
What's
buddy?
going on, ladies and gentlemen?
Is
I
everything going okay over there?
I had a big grin on my face because nobody told me that Brandon was a part of the show. Brandon is a beast, and I appreciate him. I don't know if any of you guys have a young adult niece but I have a young adult niece, and she was on the phone with me, and I have to be an uncle. Um, sometimes an uncle is over a dad, sometimes an uncle is over a mom. They'll listen to them more. So I had to I had to attend to my niece. So I apologize. Brandon, hey, Chris, let's go grab some auction stuff and
Yeah, I just dropped that video today. Guys, if you're watching, there's a video I just dropped on my channel. It's where me and Leroy went to the auction last Saturday. Was it last Saturday?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, last Saturday. I did not get any of the actual auction stuff because the people there, I just very unsure about video and all that. But I did get a video of the area, and you just have to watch. It's a short video. It's about 13 minutes long. So, but it's pretty cool, well put together. So, but yeah, I was going to tell you, Brandon. He's talking about electronics. This is what I do with electronics. I only, when I go out to buy electronics or pick them up wherever I get them, I always look for what parts sell for. Like, so
Oh yeah,
if you
yeah.
got like an original Xbox, okay, if somebody offers me one for $10, okay, can I make $10 plus a little $20 profit on it? So I'll adjust for parts only, and that's how I normally do my electronics. And then when I get the suckers home, if they work, then hey, I made a bigger profit off of it. But I love electronics. I love combo units. I do get rid of those. I do get rid of the game consoles. And most of the game consoles I do sell for parts or repair because I have no way of testing them. So I don't have a problem when I get them real cheap. I just let them go out the door.
Well,
I
I
got some.
actually all of the ones I don't know how many now that I have a 23-year-old son, so he's big into video games. You know, he's at that age where he's grown up playing video games. So every so often, I'll tell him, hey, you know, if you're bored, come down here to the basement and play some of these games for me, you know,
Right.
test these systems or
Test the
whatever.
games out.
And he
Right.
enjoys it because he likes playing, you know, and he likes the old systems and stuff too, because he had some of those when he was growing up. So you know, it's a benefit for him. He gets to play them, and then I get, you know, some stuff tested. So and I will do the DVD VCR combos and that sort of thing. Um, those sell like hotcakes. There's actually a guy that I figured out what he does. He has a bot basically that alerts him, and there's a couple models he will buy every single time I list them, and then he's selling them on Amazon and making more money.
Yeah.
So I don't care because if
Yeah.
I'm buying it for 5 and he's giving me 80, great. If he can
Right.
make money on it, great.
Right.
So, you know, anytime I see, especially if it's those models, I definitely buy them. But I got a cool one. I think it was 2 weekends ago. I was at a sale and there was so much stuff at this sale. But I got a Sony Betamax player.
I've never heard of
Crazy
that.
enough, you've never heard of a Betamax?
No. Is that like really, really? I can't be as old as Atari, is it?
They were around in the early to mid 80s. They were the competitor to VHS.
Oh, I'm thinking video game. Okay, you're
No,
talking
no.
movies. Okay.
Betamax, yeah.
Okay.
The Betamax player. But it was from a hoarder house. And what blew my mind was, how many times do you go and find a VCR or a combo unit or whatever and there's no remote?
All the time.
This was in a hoarder house, a Betamax player, and the remote was there.
Oh wow!
I could not believe it.
That's gold right there. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You could probably could have sold the remote for just as much by itself than you could for the Betamax.
Well, go ahead, Leroy.
No, I was gonna say Chris actually saw. So we were at an auction together, and some of the stuff was going really high, but you have to be the sitting duck. And
yeah, definitely.
Chris knows my status. He knows my thing now. He's funny because he realized it was me. He stood up to the side, and after about an hour, Chris realized my stilo. That's my ghetto talk, whatever I am. But Chris was like, he realized, and then I got a whole shelf lot, $10. And there's stuff in the shelf lot. There was stuff in the shelf lot that I made good money off. I got an old, probably like a 2020 Sony receiver mint. It was working when we were viewing the auction.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that was in the lot. I just listed that for 125. And so when you say old, electronics, I think of that. And Chris was like, he knew, because I told him in the beginning, I was like, I want that piece right there. And I paid $10 and I got probably 100 items. I mean, I might sell 90% of them at the flea market for $1 a piece. That's still my money back. And then the receiver was worth about $100.
Oh yeah, and then
Well,
you got that. No, go ahead, Brandon. I'm sorry.
Well, I was just gonna say this house was. I'd never been to a sale where it was a hoarder house, and I didn't realize they had the sale on Saturday. We seen it Saturday night on Facebook posted. I went up Sunday, and the lady told me that it started at noon. So I got there at 11:30, but they had already let people go in shopping. There was piles of stuff. Now, mind you, they had already did a sale Saturday. There was piles of stuff everywhere of people that had already found stuff and made piles for. I left with 3 IKEA bags full of stuff, a big cardboard box full of stuff, that Betamax player, a huge like wall, a framed baseball picture that was signed and numbered with paperwork and everything.
Holy cow.
There was still a house full of stuff to be picked. I paid $80 for everything I left with. $80. I really though wish that it was closer to me, because they invited me and said I could have came back Monday, and they were just getting rid of the stuff. So they said I could have just taken whatever. And there was so much. I called Tim. I called Tim when I was at the sale, because I knew it was in Springfield, Virginia. And I knew him being up in DC, he wouldn't have been far away. Unfortunately, his wife had the car, because there was so much, and it was glassware, figurines, like stuff Tim would have went bonkers with.
Oh, I bet.
And I called him when I was there, and I was like, dude, if you have any way of getting down here, head this way, because this is like I started buying stuff just because that's the time to learn. That is the time to learn. And I'll put it this way, I did very, very, very good. So
that's good. That's good. I like it when you can go to places like that. Like this thing with Leroy, that's the first. It's not the first auction I've ever been to, but it's the first kind like that. And I actually like that, being able to walk around and being able to see everything. And then when they actually did the auction, they walked around the place. They didn't bring stuff out. I enjoyed it. I liked it. It was a lot of fun. I learned a lot. So I'd like to do it again sometime.
Since I knew I would be on here with Leroy, a little birdie told me one of his favorite things. I went to an estate sale this morning, and I think he would have actually. I didn't bring everything up here, but since Leroy likes to, one of his favorite things is to tell people how much things are worth. I just figured, Leroy, this is a Streamline 406. How much is this worth?
I can't see it. Go down with the light. What is it? A belt buckle?
It's a tape measure.
It's a tape measure.
Okay. Tape measure. Stream. Okay.
Why do I feel like it's 3-dimensional?
I don't know. But
is it just silver? And that's
How about this? How much is this worth?
Oh, that's a cobbler. That's a cobbler hammer.
Wait, Leroy, you mean to tell me I should have got that box of hammers at the auction?
No,
I'm not gonna take this out. I actually was just messing with you, Leroy, because I was listening to you on my trip to and from the estate sale this morning on those flipping pickers, where you said that people need to do more research instead of just posting it. I know how much this stuff is worth. This is about $30. This piece here is probably about $30. And then this little hammer is probably it's not marked. That's the bad part. I
Yeah,
might put it
it's
up
not
for
marked.
30 or
Is there a
40.
claw on the end of it? Is there two teeth
No,
on the end of it?
no. It's just a small jeweler's hammer.
It's either a jeweler's or please put cobbler as well.
Yeah. But yeah, this is probably anywhere from 20 to 50.
Yeah,
Um
yeah.
those were $1 a piece. I spent
Hey, Lance
48
Short,
bucks
we're
at the
doing good.
estate sale this morning that I went to, so.
Let
And
Lance
Oh,
do
are we
it.
live?
and I finally, do you guys, let me ask you all this and anybody that's in the audience. Do you guys
Yeah,
ever have like a list of things that is like your bucket list or your hunt items that when you go out sourcing, you're like, I've never found this. I want to find one of these. I want to find one of these. Today, I knocked a huge find off of my list. Finally, I buy vintage hats, and I've always wanted to find a three stripe. I've never found a three stripe. Those are tough.
what's the three
And
stripe?
the old three stripe trucker hats where they got the three little lines on the side here. They're like
It
stitched in
means
on
he's
the.
gonna get over $30 for it. Jesus.
Oh, yeah, they're good no matter what. But I've looked and looked and looked. It's something. One of the things on my list that I'm like, I want to find a three stripe, and finally knocked that one off the list today. But the biggest piece, and for anybody out there, like I know Leroy, you're known for your tools, but we've talked, and when we met at the 127, you showed me your helicopter and all this. Everybody seems like they get put into a niche thing, and I don't really have anything. Like when Chris asked me what my thing was, I keep my eyes open. The winner for today, I bought this glass vase, and the sticker on it literally said heavy purple vase. That's all they put on it. And it was $2. I'm not a glass person, but if something it looks fancy and I can tell by what else is in the house that it's likely
Mm-hmm.
old, fancy, colorful, $2, probably got a little bit of value. Google Lens brings up a vase that is priced at $680. I'm not quite sure what this thing's going to bring. I got to do a little bit more research. Somebody in the district group on the identification page said that it seems to check out. But yeah, that could be a huge winner for today. $2
Oh yeah.
into several hundred. So
Oh yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. You was talking about hats earlier. We were talking about you talking about three stripe hat. Now I'm going to tell you, early on in my resale career, it's probably been 3 years ago. This happened. I found in a thrift store, and I got it for 50 cents. I found a shark tooth Dallas Cowboys hat. Okay, and a snapback, and I had no idea what I had. I had no idea what I had. And somebody, I can't remember where I heard it from or something like that. They said that those hats were worth hundreds of dollars and this and that and the other. And I was just like, I just don't know. There's just no way this hat. And it was clean. It was very clean. It wasn't dirty or anything like that. So I was doing a whatnot show one night. And I'll never forget this thing. And I had it in my hat stuff. And somebody, and I had, and this is when I first started whatnot too. And I had 5 people in the room. And I don't know how it happened. I didn't know what was going on at the time, but I was scanning the hats, and somebody said, "Is that a shark tooth Dallas Cowboy?" And I says, "I don't know what a shark tooth is, but here's a Dallas Cowboy hat." And I showed it, and of course it had the shark tooth on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's all I heard. Well, it wasn't a few minutes later, I had a bunch of people show up in my room. It was just out of the blue. Just a bunch of, it wasn't a raid or anything because I didn't have raid then. And there's just a bunch of people started showing up in my room. And then next thing I know, everybody's asking for this shark tooth hat. And I'm like, well, I guess I'll run it for $3. What the heck? I don't know. I ran that sucker for $3 and I ended up selling it for $95 and I had no idea what was going on the whole time. I was like, what? And I was showing my wife, I says, Tammy, what is going on?
Yep.
So they want this hat. And so now, being more experienced, I look for shark tooth hats because I know what it was, and I can't find them. The only people I know to find them are Chris. It's a Cernox connection. That's the only one I know to find
Well, I
them
was
now.
gonna say, Sarnak. I don't know if somebody asked in the chat during one of the shows on listing and loafing, or if Chris asked the question of people to put what their most expensive hat was. But it surprised me because I have actually sold a hat for more than Cernak has.
Oh
And
wow!
that shocked me because he gets some crazy hats. But you want the shark tooth, the splash, the diamonds, the three stripes. Like there's a
All right,
anything the '90s patterns that are real fancy. You want those. But speaking of shark tooth, I was lucky to get a shark tooth Raiders, and I
was it
paid
Los
$2
Angeles?
for it. Yep, I
Yeah.
paid $2 for it and sold it for
Yeah,
$320.
I
So
heard the other day anything with Los Angeles Raiders,
yep.
you better pick it up because it will go for hundreds of dollars. It's got to say Los Angeles Raiders on it though. So I was like, wow. But so
Yeah.
what's the splash and a diamond?
So there's different. The diamonds literally look like they'll have a diamond on them, but there's different ones. There's some where the diamonds come on the sides, and then there's some where it's like right around the logo.
Mm-hmm.
The splash is. Did you watch the Instagram that Tim and Cernak put up with the Mighty Ducks? It has like it looks like a paintbrush went like swooped across the hat. They call them the
No,
splash.
no, I didn't see that video. It's on Instagram.
Yeah, if you just look up, I'm pretty sure they're Logo Athletic Splash. I'm pretty sure that's who makes them. Yeah,
It's
logo.
on.
If you just search Logo Athletic Splash, you'll see what I'm talking about. The design kind of looks like a
Oh,
paintbrush went across it.
let's see here.
Those are a good one to find too.
Logo athletic hats. Here we go. Images. Okay, short tooth. Okay, I think I see what you're talking about. Here, I'm gonna share this. So you can show me. Let's see. Present. Screen share. Little lack of it. Share. Okay. All right. So are we talking about like this one right here being
So
a
those are
diamond,
the
or is it?
diamonds. Yep,
That's the
those are the
diamonds.
diamonds.
So these are the diamonds, and this is
That's
shark
one of the
tooth here.
versions. That's shark tooth, and
Um,
then that sun's hat. If you look to the right,
here.
yeah, that's a splash.
Okay, so
Well, that's
that's a
actually a
splash.
reverse splash because it's going the opposite direction. But yeah,
Okay. Let's see.
that the one right there, the sun,
That one.
that's a splash. Yep.
Okay, so those are the ones to keep look for, and this is a shark tooth here, isn't it?
Yeah, that's called a double shark tooth because it has two different colors on the shark tooth pattern.
So they just didn't make them in football; they did racing also. Then.
All kinds of them. Yep.
Oh wow. Okay, I know what to keep looking out for. Then, I just, I
Is, is that why we hired Brandon? Because I didn't know you were like, Leroy, we need to hire this guy. He knows his stuff about certain stuff. I didn't know why you wanted to spend an extra $50 a month. I didn't know this. So
No, for
apparently,
real
because
though.
Brandon knows a lot more about other stuff. Brandon, I was like, he was like, we need to give him an extra $50 a month. I was like, I didn't know we had to spend $50 extra a month to give this guy. But now that
Leroy,
you're
I would
teaching
shock
me,
you today because I tried to not like I was telling Chris earlier. I try not to niche myself into a corner because I have to travel so far being where I am to get to like where the majority of sales are. I want to make sure that my options are really open. So trying to learn about everything helps me. And so when I went today, one of the items that was well supplied at this estate was tools. And the gentleman that had passed away was almost 101 years old. He was 6 days from being 101. So
Wow.
tons of vintage stuff. And I picked up a Crown logo Craftsman toolbox, some SK socket sets. There was a Crown logo 1/4 inch drive Craftsman socket set. Or sorry, 1/2 inch drive socket set. But yeah, like I try to
Let me know
keep.
when I can interrupt because you said 7 things that I need to talk on.
Go ahead.
So there's a lot of good people out there on YouTube that know about tools. I am known as the tool guy, but I'm going to tell you I don't know crap about tools. But my homeboy right there, that guy right there, he said Crown. You guys know nothing about Crown, Craftsman. And then he said Snap-on set. Not Snap-on, SK sets. You guys don't know nothing about Snap-on SK sets, baby. If it's in the box and if it's a Snap-on SK set, I'm excited. I'm sorry. When you guys say SK sets, that's where the money is. You listen. I was looking at some Snap-on stuff today that I got the auction with my man over here, right? I got some Snap-on stuff. It was only worth $3 a piece, right? Everybody sleeps on SK. If you get a small SK, 1/4 inch, it doesn't even have to be 1/4 inch. As long as it has a ratchet and 90% of the stuff in the box, that's a big money. I've sold SK sets in a small green box for over $200, baby. So I'm gonna shut up.
So that's better than was that Matco? Was it Matco that we saw?
It's not better. I had to interrupt the trade. It's not better, but it's more hard to find. So everybody wants to know Snap-on, Matco, Mac. But if you get a complete SK set, 1/4 inch, 3/8 of an inch, but the 1/4 inch, if you get a 1/4 inch set that has 90% of it, you're gonna get over $100 for it, like for real.
I've seen SK printed on tools before. Didn't know what they were meant. Now I know.
Proto is another one that's good. Proto's one to look out for, and then I don't think they're as much as the others, but Billings is another company that's pretty decent as well. So
Junking for dollars. No, she don't let me date no more. That's my wife.
Well, listen, I really like this show. I'm gonna put something out there that probably shouldn't be put out there.
Oh, well, I don't know if we should do that then, Leroy. We haven't discussed that.
I really don't care. Because if you have me on your show, I'm gonna be me. I don't know how many people are watching this, but I'm gonna give a invite. I would love to have this show twice a month with Brandon on the show. I'm putting him on the spot, guys. We haven't asked him, but I'm putting him on the spot. But I feel like 3 old guys could talk about a lot.
Hey, I'm not that old.
Who's the oldest? Who's the oldest?
Oh my goodness!
I will 100% bet you that it is not me.
Really?
100%
Chris,
guaranteed it is not me.
I don't know. Okay, all right. All right. Let's narrow it down. Who was born in the 70s? Anybody born in the 70s? Leroy? Brandon, was you born in the 70s?
He didn't raise his hand. He's not
He didn't
deaf.
raise his hand. So was you born in the 80s?
Yeah,
Brandon's an 80s guy.
he
All right,
wasn't born
Leroy.
in the 90s. I didn't
So,
realize he was. I didn't realize he was a teeny bopper. Goodness gracious! I thought girls had good butts, and he wasn't even born yet.
I was
so,
born in 1980.
oh wow, okay. So Leroy, that's between me and you then. Are you early 80s or late 80s? I mean 70s. Early 70s or late 70s?
Where does is it between 5? Is it from 5 to 6, or is it from 0?
Okay, late 70s is from 6 to 9, and early 70s is from 0 to 5 to 9, and then 0 to 4.
I'm 0 to 4.
So am I.
Yeah, I think you're older than me because my birthday hasn't come up yet. We had this conversation.
Wait a minute. You have a birthday. You have a birthday before the year's out.
My birthday's in a couple of days. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm older than you. Well,
Yeah,
wait a
so
minute. No, what year? What year?
I-
What year?
Are you 49 yet?
No, I'm past that, brother.
Oh, okay. So Tim doesn't like you because you're a dinosaur.
Tim doesn't like me because I'm what?
Tim from over the years does not like this guy because he's a dinosaur.
Really?
And Brandon is not a dinosaur. So Tim, if you're watching this, don't look at this guy. Look at this guy and this guy. Because that guy over there, he's not.
So Tim don't like me because I'm a dinosaur, huh?
Yeah.
It's all right, Tim. I had the coolest pet. I had a pterodactyl I could fly around on.
Yeah, I always see
man.
Tim up at Chantilly when we go to the card show.
Oh, cool.
I am asking, if any of you guys watch the show,
Did we lose Leroy?
And I'm sorry, I care about you. If I didn't like you, I wouldn't waste my time.
Yeah, I don't mind
Brandon,
if he's up for it. If he's up for it, I don't mind. And that's something
Brandon,
I wanted to. That's something I wanted to discuss today. Was I think the 6 o'clock Friday afternoon is a bad time because, like, I just think it's a bad time. There's everybody else has got, like, right now you got football season going on. So high school football, everybody's got their kids and they're watching high school football games, and the playoff games are coming on. And then the wives and husbands, they want to spend time on date night or whatever on Friday nights. And I get that. So I was just thinking, I think the time maybe need to change. I don't know. I mean, I could be wrong. I'm not 100% sure. I just think during the day, reason I picked 6 o'clock in the evening is because during the day, we do our eBay stuff. And then you do these shows, it takes away from your listing time and all that other stuff, your resourcing time and all that. So I just figured I'd do it in a time that it would not take away from that. And I could stay busy doing the other things for the business, and so I don't know. I mean, you guys tell me, you think I have it at a good time or should I need to do it better?
I think the biggest thing with 6 o'clock is you got people still coming home from work on the East Coast. And then you have people like on the West Coast, it's only 3 p.m. And I get, it's focused towards resellers who should be working all the time or have free time all the time, but that's just not the case. So,
yeah, right.
I'll put it this way, Leroy, you cut in and out, so I didn't catch all of what you said. I am here to have fun, make friends, and talk about what we do or help people or whatever. If you guys want to have me on, like I told you tonight, as long as the lady was okay with it, then I'll join you guys. And
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'd love to have the lady on because I like your wife. Your wife is cool. She's cool as S. I can't say it in front of Chris, but she's cool as S. Like, your wife is mad cool. So for me,
she is pretty cool.
I'm okay with having her on. Yeah. No, she's mad cool.
I'm gonna put it out here like this. Brandon and Leroy, anytime y'all want to come on, y'all are more than welcome to come here. Because I I like it better. Leroy keeps telling me, "Oh, just do it without somebody. Just do it without somebody. You can make your own video and make it like a regular video." And that's fine. I did that a couple times and I like that. But I like it more when I got somebody in here I can actually talk to, because we can cut up and have a good time and talk about some serious stuff when we need to. But I'm just going to leave the door open anytime I'm on and you guys want to do it. All you got to do is send me a message, say, "Hey, send me the link." That's the way I do it. And that's what I say, because I like to have guests. I like to have a permanent co-host, but I don't. I just think the timing's wrong, and I could be wrong on that too. I don't know. Um, I don't know. I don't know. So I'm just. This is probably about the fourth or fifth show we've had, and I'm enjoying it. I really like it. I'm starting to learn a little bit more about it. Go ahead, Leroy.
I can't do it every week. I would love if we could do it every other week. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to give a shout out. Cats Z and Lisa, like those are my homies right there. Like, I don't talk much. They're and I'm gonna be a little ghetto-ish, guys, but like I am who I am. I'm not gonna change for anybody.
And that's why I like it.
I love the Lord, and I love me. Like, I don't love me, but like I love me being me. You know, I grew up through some serious crap, guys. You guys have no idea. I was privileged to meet Brandon first, and I met Brandon, and we went to 127. We get to pick. He get to see a little bit what I like. I saw his knife and stuff. That man bought like over $100. I don't spend over $100 on nothing, man. Like, I'm not spending $100 on my groceries.
You wanna hear about that knife, Leroy? Because it's a dagger, actually. And for anybody out there, if you're familiar, I can't show it because it can be sensitive to people, and you can't sell it on eBay.
Is it a World War II?
It's a World War II.
Okay, gotcha.
SO or SA dagger, German SA dagger.
Yeah.
I've done a little bit of research into it, and I actually reached out to a company that is a dealer in those. They are like the largest dealer in that kind of stuff, and emailed the guy some pictures. He emailed me back. He said it's definitely legit because there are some fakes out there. He said there's definitely, it's definitely legit, and he actually threw me an offer on it. I haven't responded to his offer because I may have someone local that might want it, and I know that his offer was a dealer offer for him to have a great cushion on his end. But I did spend $300 on this item at a yard sale. I know that sounds a little crazy, but the offer that was given to me already was $675.
Wow.
I expect that item is probably $1,200 plus. So, yeah, wow. I know Leroy thought I was crazy because I spent $300.
Let's be for real, right? So I brought you. So it was nothing shady, guys. Okay, I brought you in the back room in my bedroom, and I showed
me his helicopter.
Hey, Chris, hey, Brandon, you think that was worth 10? Like, what'd you think?
Did I think what?
What'd you think about that helicopter? Like a piece of
yeah,
like,
Brandon, what did you think about the helicopter?
So no, I actually had looked at those on online estate auctions before, so I had familiar because that was a gas powered one, right? Was it a battery or gas?
It was electric.
It was electric. Okay.
It was electric.
I had some familiarity with them. I didn't know exactly how much you would get out of it because you had said it was broken, but I knew you and I knew how you like to piece things apart. So even if you didn't sell it as a lot, like as a whole unit for parts or whatever, I knew you would be able to piece it out. And what did you pay, like 30 for it or something? I know you didn't pay a ton for it.
$5.
Okay, $5. So I knew you had profit there. The gas ones, those can be even more.
But Chris, I'm sorry.
Well, I sold one of the the cars, the little dune buggy ones from like the 70s or 80s. I had that thing sitting here, and I didn't. Chris was talking about cleaning shoes. I didn't feel like cleaning with it and messing with it because some of those, the plastic parts and stuff, can be brittle. And so I had it sitting here. Finally, one day I was like, I'm just going to throw it up as is, dirty, just like it is. I don't know if it works, whatever. Somebody's going to want this thing. And yeah, like any of that old RC type stuff, like whether it's cars, helicopters, there's money in it because how often do you see them? Like, I mean, you don't see them everywhere. And people remember that stuff from when they were kids, or they do it as a hobby or whatever. Somebody might have bought that helicopter just because they needed a couple pieces off of it. So,
yeah, I saw that for 130, I believe. And I was with Eric at that sale. And Eric is a my man Eric. I care for Eric with all my heart. I want to say love, but I don't want you guys to think I'm weird. But I love Eric. Eric is my friend. Eric is my brother. I feel like these guys are my brothers, to be honest with you. Until they piss me off, and then I'll tell them different. I might come to sign the contract or something. I may tell Chris he has to pay for my coffee. I meet me at the house at 5:00 in the morning. But besides all that, I was doing what I do. You guys in there's not a lot of people watching this. When there will be a lot of people watching this, I'm gonna tell you guys, you all spend money on something. It's either the computer at your house, it's your wife's personal pocketbook. Ask her. When she tells you she wants $500 for a pocketbook, ask her why. Ask her what it's about. When your kid's gotta pay $700 a month for volleyball, ask why. Ask what the ball is. Like, don't be stupid. Like, you guys are spending money on stuff for your family to make your family happy. Why don't you get the knowledge off of the money you're spending to make your reselling better?
Can I speak on that a minute? Because it's actually funny.
No, I'm not going to let you. No, go ahead.
Well, my daughter just turned 18 last week. On the 9th, she turned 18. My son, he's 23. Now, my daughter's my stepdaughter, but she's my daughter. My son is actually he's my son. They are the exact opposite in terms of how they are, like spending wise and all that. And what's funny is my daughter is more like myself than my son is. And I don't know how this happened, but my wife, she doesn't, you've met her. She, like you said, she's cool. She doesn't really ask for much. I took her out last weekend and I bought her a brand new Christmas tree because she's wanted one. And I know deep inside she's felt guilty ever since because of how much the tree cost. Tomorrow's our anniversary.
Hold on. Hold on.
Oh,
how much did you pay for the Christmas tree?
I spent $314.
Oh my God!
It wasn't cheap. It was not.
You didn't go outside. You didn't go outside and cut it down.
No, she wanted a flocked tree, so I went. We actually went to many stores trying to find one that was nice, and this one we both liked. So she doesn't ask for much, though. That's the thing. So if it was, she doesn't ask for much, and she deserves it. She does a lot for the family. So if her happiness is Christmas, then whatever.
Right.
But
so you have an anniversary tomorrow, real quick, right?
Yes,
Happy
I
anniversary.
do.
Happy anniversary, sir. And so that means next week. That means the next show, not next week, but the week after, we have to get your wife on. Tell her Leroy wants to talk about small tools.
I'll see if I can arrange that. I was trying to figure out the dates because her birthday is actually the 22nd. So
22nd November.
Yeah, her birthday's in 5
tell
days.
her she doesn't know. My birthday's the 30th of November.
So the next show
Well, happy
actually,
birthday to you too.
Yeah, the next show will actually be on the 1st. We won't have one next week because of Thanksgiving stuff. I know Thanksgiving's on Thursday, but Friday, I figure people be going out looking at Christmas lights and stuff like that. You know, got the family thing going on. So the next one will be on the 1st, December
And
1st.
I know y'all are always interested in my cards and stuff because we talked
Yes.
about those. I just had a cha-ching while we've been
Uh-oh.
sitting here for $365. So
Golly, man. See, I'm gonna
Goodbye.
tell you.
I'm done with you, Brandon.
See, I'm gonna tell you, Brandon. Look, you know, he's talking about I can't help but pick up clothes. I'm one of those guys that I really want to pick up sports cars. I really want to get involved with it, but I know absolutely nothing about it. So I'm just scared to, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm scared to spend the money on them because then I'm like, well, I'm gonna lose a lot of money. But then again, scared money don't make money, you know. So I just,
I'm going to tell you one thing, and this is for you and anyone else out there. When you go to like yard sales or whatever and you see a big box of cards,
mhm.
and they're, most cases, people, if they have cards like that, they're asking, a new house for. The truth
Yeah,
is, 99.9% of the time, the stuff in those boxes is not going to be worth anything. It's going to be stuff from the late 80s, the 90s,
right.
and it's everywhere. There's a few cards that have any kind of value at all. Everybody thinks they have the mantles and all that stuff, and it's playing a scratch off ticket. If you bought that box, 99% of the time, you're gonna haul it right to the landfill or whatever. Um, because it's just, or you're gonna waste more time than it's worth digging through them and looking. And eh, it's something hard to. I can't sit here and like explain to you what to look
Oh
for. And
yeah.
another reason that I got into the reselling is because it's hard to go like I said, I bought a vase today for $2 that has the potential to
Lisa,
be.
you are the best. You know you are my homegirl.
Yeah,
Hey.
that's very true, Lisa. I can tell her that Mike Trout paid for the Christmas tree. But no, the truth is like I bought that vase today for $2 and it might be $400 or $500. I don't know. I'm just saying there's potential there. The odds of going and buying a $2 sports card and it having that same return is like
Slim.
minimal. Like it would be luck to find that. It's just not happening because you don't have like there's card shows and there's dollar boxes and all this stuff, and you might find like you'll see Carrie, American Arbitrage. He does all those little short videos where he's digging and he'll find a card and maybe it's $20 card in there. Well, that's a lot of time digging in those boxes to come up with that. I
Right.
know I can go out on a Saturday to a yard sale and usually find something a dollar into 20 or 30 or whatever. And we all know, everybody that does this knows the big hits are exciting. When you find that $5 into a $120 helicopter, those stick with you and you like to share those stories and tell people about it and all that. And why is that? Because it doesn't happen all the time. What
Right.
normally happens is that dollar into 15 or, 2 into 20 or whatever. Those are our more common ones. Those are the ones that are actually paying the bills. The other ones just get our excitement level up because we know we scored. And
Mhm.
so that's what I like to look at is, picking up this little thing for $1 and knowing it's $30. That's exciting too. So you can't do that as well in cards though.
Now, Brandon, I want to ask you a quick question. You said something last time. I think you did that you comic books. You do comic books also. Is that correct? Or do you collect
um
them, or do you sell them? I can't remember what because that was a month or so ago when we was talking about this.
so I got into them for a very short period of time when the pandemic was going on and sports cards were they were so crazy I needed to step away from them
Hmm.
because prices and all of that was just getting nuts and I wanted to step away, but I wanted to have something to still have fun collecting. I got into them for a short period, but I am never, ever, 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 ever going to pretend that I know anything to do with comic books.
Okay, the reason I
Um,
ask is because when I do whatnot shows on my comics, now I don't sell mint comics, graded comics, or anything like that. When I do a whatnot show, it's garage sale comics. But I notice a lot of people ask for these 12, 15 cent, 25 cent, 30 cent comics. And I can find some. I got an antique store close by that sell them, but the guy, I think the lady that runs the antique store has told the guy because I could get them for 75 cents a piece, and I think she's told him that I've been coming in there and grabbing them all up because I had a conversation with her, and the last time I went in there, he's went up to $2 on them. So I don't buy from him anymore. But I did find a place that I can get them for $1 each, under the $1 cover price. So my question is, but you said you didn't really know a whole lot about them, but my interest is, and if someone watches this later can put in the chat or whatever, is what comics do you look for that are under the $1 price tag? Because from my experience, if it's under the $1 price tag, that's either early '80s, I mean early '90s and late '80s. If I think Leroy must have lost his connection.
that's the same situation you're going to run into with cards. The
Okay,
80s and 90s, that it was the same thing in a sense. Like those time periods, these companies were pushing all sorts of cards, comic. It was the collectibles age, basically, where in cards it's coined the junk wax era, and most of it in comics. Now, there's going to be a few sprinkled in there that might be like a key comic
right,
that will have some value, but the majority of them are going to be a similar situation where there's just
right.
not a lot of value to them.
It's just one of those things.
So,
There's too many of them out there that may make it worth. All right.
yep. Or it's not even that there's too many. It's they did so many different spin-offs of this and that and the other, and they printed so many copies of them, but not everybody is collecting those. Like everybody, people are collecting Spider-Man. They're
Right.
doing the Spider-Man run. Um, Marvel stuff or Wolverine, your main characters, people are collecting that kind of stuff, but there's so much spin-offs of that. And if you don't know what you're buying, uh, it, that 75-cent comic could be only 50 cents today,
Right. Right.
So
I get you. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
kind
I
of
get
how
you.
it works. Yeah. And it's with anything. I mean, people that do knickknacks, I'm sure there's knickknacks out there that, were overproduced and
Oh
printed.
yeah.
Beanie Babies, they were once gold and now they're a meme, so
So, do you sell strictly on eBay or do you have other platforms? You might have said that already. That's what.
I am 100%. Well, I can't say 100%. I am basically only eBay.
Okay.
I've told the guys over on District and for the RIN that when I get some time freed up, I would like to put some listings in there as well on
Right.
that platform, just more so for supporting them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and I am curious to see how that platform plays out. I've been an approved seller on Whatnot for I don't know, since the platform probably started,
Yeah.
and I've never done a sale on there. Flip
Really, you've
side of
never run
that,
a show.
I've never ran a show. I also have never purchased an item off of Whatnot.
Oh my goodness.
So, but I have been approved to sell on there since it became a platform. But eBay is just it's one of those things. Like you have a love-hate relationship with it. You love it
Yeah.
because it has, I mean, the ease of use, I'll tell you one thing that I love about it that people don't really talk about. Outside of the fact that it has the most, eyes and all of that on there, I feel it gives you the most resources and data as a seller. as far as how much you're selling, what your performance is. There is a lot of data
Oh
there,
yeah.
breaks down your monthly numbers. And I feel that has a value to it.
Oh yeah,
When
most
we're
definitely.
doing this, as resellers and trying to run a business, all of those numbers are very important. So even that has a place to where I don't know that the other platforms are providing like that. I could be wrong, but I just think there's a lot of positives. Now the updates and all that stuff, it it bothered me at first because I was still unsure of myself if I was succeeding as a reseller.
Right.
When you're depending on this to pay your bills, you want to make sure you're doing it right. And so if I had a day where it was like one sale for a few bucks or something, it would be like, well, this isn't going so well.
Right.
But I've learned over time that you might have a day today that's $30 and tomorrow you might have 600.
Right.
It's just a wild ride, and as long as you keep doing what works and what you're supposed to do, you're going to be okay. And
So
that's
so Lisa asked a question here. Now I'm on district also. I'm also on One Stop Shop by RIM. And I can tell what I know, and then we'll go over to you, Brandon, because apparently you've been on there longer. It says the first question is, can you guys explain the advantages of eBay over District, or does District have the option to cross post? And she also says, uh, or the advantage of District. Wait a minute. Or the advantage of District over eBay. Think Tim over the years said one thing to check out. I can't see the whole message. So I can tell you this. As far as advantage over eBay, I'm not 100% sure about, but you did ask, does District have the option to cross post? Now, I've seen this question asked in uh, Pocket Change podcast. The guys are talking about this and they didn't know, uh, District, if I'm not mistaken, Brandon, correct me if I'm wrong, you can't cross post items with the marketplaces within District. Is that correct?
I do not believe I from the way I understand it, some marketplaces I think have rules
Right.
included in being a seller on their marketplace that you can't sell on other marketplaces. I don't know if it's a situation. So District is a unique platform, and when I talked to Ivan when he onboarded me, he explained a lot about it, and it has some interesting ideas behind it. And that's why I've been intrigued to see where it gets to. It's the concept is it has the eBay element where you can do buy it nows or auctions,
Mm-hmm.
but it also has the whatnot element where you can do the live auctions. It
Yep.
has the Discord element where the marketplace, each individual marketplace has the little chats that are set up. But the
That
cool
I
thing
do like.
is if you go on Facebook right now and you wanted to sell an item, you could put it in marketplace, or you could join 40 different groups, but then you have to share it to all of those different groups, right? District essentially, think of a marketplace in District as a Facebook group, okay? And then you have many different Facebook groups. Then listings are put into those Facebook groups, but you can search the District platform and see every item that's listed in all of those marketplaces. It's not just going on there searching and it only shows you inside that one little marketplace. You can search the entire website. So all of the marketplaces. So it's essentially a mix of eBay, Facebook groups, whatnot, Discord. And then you have what I think Lisa was talking about.
She finished her
There's a
question out here. Let's see.
there is the one thing that I think is very, very awesome, and as far as I know, nobody else has this. It's called Magic Comments. I can
Yes,
list an item on District and share it to Facebook or my Instagram or whatever. And all someone has to do is type claim if they want to purchase the item. And then it takes them to a secure checkout. Now, coming
they
from
don't even
sports
have to go to the
cards,
marketplace. They don't even have to go to the marketplace.
right. And that also creates, it opens your marketplace as a seller
Hmm.
to everybody. If you have a huge social media following and you put an item on Instagram and you have, thousands of Instagram followers, guess what? They all can
They
now
all
see
see
that
it.
item. You're showing it to them, not them coming and finding it.
Yep.
Coming from the sports card side, Instagram and Twitter is huge for selling sports cards. The problem with that is then you're DMing back and forth, trying to negotiate or trying to figure out how you're paying for it or whatever. And with the Magic Comments, it literally, if somebody wants to, like, let's say I throw this up and I share it over to Instagram and somebody wants it, boom, they type claim, it takes them to a secure checkout. I know I'm safe, they know they're safe, and there you go. You made the sale. So that part is very interesting to me.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'm curious to
Yeah,
see where it goes.
I am too. I'm curious about the claim. Real quick, I want to say, hey, Rachel Strickland, thank you for stopping by. I know you said you had to play, you had to go to today. Thank you for stopping by. But on the claim, I really want to. When I did the onboarding, we talked more about the live at that time, and we were going to do some more stuff later on. I haven't been able to talk to our guy yet to see when we were going to do another one because I really want to learn more about that the claim,
Oh,
how
it's
that
awesome.
actually works. Yeah, and it's I watched Eric. Eric did his first, I guess it was his first live last night to test it,
Hmm.
and he was able to stream it to YouTube also. So he did his first live last night, and it was from behind us. I don't know all the things behind the scenes, but from watching it from my end, it did. There's a few minor things that are not the same as whatnot, which is okay. I mean, it's just something you got. It's just a different platform. You just got to get used to it. But it seems like it will work the same behind the scenes. Like you don't you bring your items up, put them in and bring them up and show them. Yeah, like unlike Poshmark, you can pull items off the marketplace, but you may be able to do that with this too. I'm not 100% sure. There's some
So
things I got to learn about that.
from what I understand is that's another interesting aspect to it is I'm pretty sure like Eric was telling people if there's anything in the marketplace that you want,
Mhm.
let me
Yeah.
know.
Yep.
Because I don't know if it's just the owner of the marketplace or if anybody has that ability in the live chat, but he could actually like run items for other people or, sell
Hmm.
items for other people. So that's another unique aspect. I think, you know, it, I'm wondering if they're moving that more towards for like consignment sake because that might would open up live auction consignment because you
Yes.
don't actually have to be the person selling it. I don't know if that's the direction they're pushing for, but yeah, there's a
It's
lot of different you know elements that I haven't seen elsewhere that makes it pretty intriguing. I do know that they started mostly on the sports card side, and it's been interesting to see how many resellers and the estate side is basically what they call it, um, and how that's been growing. It's also been neat to see how, even though I'm into sports cards, I think it's funny. Um, you put a reseller in there, like, Crazy Lamp Lady, and there was, I think, one other one maybe. I seen Craigslist Hunter Pete
yeah.
has a
Craigslist
marketplace
Unders
in
in
there
there. Yeah.
now, but how they flew and passed the card, like the card people that were in there, and I was
Oh yeah.
like,
Real
this
quick.
shows.
Oh yeah, real quick. Rachel Strickland asked which platform we're talking about. District, Rachel. It's a. I don't know how long it's been around. How long has it been around, Brandon?
I think it's probably. I know I joined a couple months ago as a seller for CGC, which is a grading company. I think it's actually been around for about a year.
Yeah. Oh,
I can
Leroy's
tell
back.
you real quick.
Let's bring Leroy back here. Yeah, Rachel, it's got multi marketplaces within District. District is the platform, and then you have resellers that have created their own marketplace, and other resellers can join their marketplace. Lisa asked, "Is there a monthly sign-on fee?"
No.
I'm not paying a sign-on fee at all. I'm part of RI One Stop Shop for RIN. I'm a member and a seller there. Um, she also asked, she also says, so I have absolutely no following. I just sell on eBay. I sell weird stuff one off, so I don't know if it would be helpful to RIN for me to list stuff on District that isn't looked at. So that might be something Leroy can answer there with that question there.
So Lisa, I know you're normally on our weekly show, and hi Rachel, and thank you Rachel for coming in. And yes, listen guys, I feel like personally, Brandon's category, it's just like Whatnot, where they started off with Funko Pops and they went into baseball cards. Brandon, it's a little bit more known, but it's a new platform. And if you're new, if you list 10 items a week, when that thing finally picks up in whatever category you're in, you're going to be the head, just like Whatnot. So on Whatnot right now, the guys who started Tools and Whatnot a year ago, those are the OGs. Like they got 40, 50, 60 people in their lives every week. You could be that in this platform. And it's because it's so new. We have we have like a sign in. We have one of the co-founders with District,
Ivan.
Ivan.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to say his name.
Oh, I said it.
Yeah, but he does a one-on-one with us. We do it every 2 weeks. Try to do it every 2 weeks for the new people. Rachel, we would love to have you on. Please message me or Eric or anybody from the Reseller Information Network, and we'll give you a rate. And we will, if you're interested in joining with us, Craigslist Hunter, Crazy Lamp Lady, a lot of the big people are in this platform already. And all it is a platform. It's not our platform, it's District, but it's a platform within a community, and you could be part of that. And, it's a lot lower fee than eBay. So, everybody decide for what you want to do. But if you're new and your category is not in there, jump in it, like for real. Jump in it and be one of the first ones, because when there's 7 more people selling what Rachel sells or Leroy sells or Chris sells, we lost Brandon, but if Brandon sells, you're gonna be like, man, I should have got in earlier. I remember Eric could have got in Whatnot, and I shouldn't say this, but I'm gonna say it. Eric should have got in Whatnot a lot longer than he did, and he was a little hesitant. And Chris and Tim tried to get him in, and he was a little hesitant. It took him an extra few months to get in. So don't sleep on this, guys. It's not going to hurt you. All it is another platform. They do use a different financial place. I think they use a place called Stripe, which I've never heard of
Stripe.
before. But it seems pretty good. If Crazy Lamp Lady and Cats under Crazy Lamp Lady, and a lot of these people are in there.
I think Sony of Las Vegas is there too.
Yeah, and there's different platforms you can join. But Rachel, I would love for you guys. I'm gonna plead a little bit. I'd love for you to be into the one-stop shop on RIN.
And Rachel, on the one stop shop, I haven't seen it yet, and it could be because I haven't been on the platform today. But I haven't seen any designer bags, and I know you do a lot of stuff with designer bags. I haven't
Yeah.
seen any, Leroy. Is there any on there?
I haven't seen many. I, I
Yeah.
I remember when I didn't see any tools, and now there's 100 tools, and I sit there going,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
To
Rachel,
give a little, sorry, I was going to say, I think Eric talked about it Tuesday, and I don't know if you guys discussed it with Ivan. Ivan, if you want to, like, he's been around on Instagram for a while, and Twitter. His handle is Watch the Breaks. He was big into like the sports cards and the breaking scene, but the guy that actually helped develop this, just to give you all an idea, that it's not just some throw together platform. The guy that helped develop this actually was a co-designer of Snapchat. So it's somebody that has a lot of technical knowledge and platform building and even social media building, because look at what Snapchat became.
Hmm.
So it's definitely not a generic, like, built platform. There's some big minds behind it.
Oh
It
yeah, I
is
love
obviously
the
new.
yeah, and I love the social media part of it where you can chat in certain categories. Like you got the tool talk, you got the wholesale talk, you got different. I love that part about the thing too. I mean, it's you get so
the
much information.
the beautiful part with the RIN one, and I can't speak on the others. I'm only in one other marketplace, and it's just strictly for dealers for a grading company. Um, but the beautiful thing with the RIN one so far is just the amount of people that are there to help, and like discuss things or whatever. Like that's what I think, that truly, like, I haven't even mentioned something about how awesome that marketplace has been, because that's what they're trying to build. They looked at Facebook groups and everything, and they looked at, what whatnot was doing in eBay and all of that, but they're combining it all together. And I think seeing how the RIN chat, like in that marketplace, I think that's exciting, Ivan, because that's what the vision of this is building a community. And it's been cool to see how people have been communicating, and folks will say, hey, I'm looking for this, and there's been people, hey, I
Yep.
got this, or
Yeah.
there's folks that said, is anybody interested in this? And and so that's been a cool thing to see too.
Yeah. Right. Here's something McLeod just said. It's only for Apple because I was looking for your link, but District just sent me to the Apple. Right. You can do it on
So
your laptop, or computer, or on Apple. It's not on Android. And I do want, and real quick, Brandon, I
there
do
is
want to say, oh,
there's a little trick to be able to get it to use on Android that someone mentioned Tuesday morning. Go to it on the Android browser and then save the link to your homepage, and then you won't have an app, but you're able to use the site still on your Android. Just save like a little home screen icon or whatever. I think they are working on Android, but everybody hits the iPhones first, right?
yeah, right. Yeah, Rachel. Sorry, it's not on Android, but it is on the desktop. But I wanted to let for a one shop stop. These guys by RIN. These guys. I mean, they've already got 170 members and 60 sellers. So that's it's blowing up fast. So that's really really good. I really like you saying, Brenda. I really like what they've done with their marketplace. I really really do.
Well, district in general, I mean, yeah, it's awesome. I mean, I had no doubts with RIN. Leroy, Eric, Chernock, and Tim, those dudes are freaking awesome. So, in fact, a funny story, real quick. The first time I met Eric, I I was at the Route 29 sale, was in this little barn area, like shop, looking at a clothes rack, and I had a GoPro on. Now, at this time, my channel probably, I don't know, I don't have many subscribers anyway. I only have like 300 and some now, but at that time, I think I was at like 30. And Eric's like, "Hey, do you have a YouTube channel?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm trying. I'm pretending." Now, my sports card channel, I have over 2,000 subs on there, which for sports cards is decent. That's laughable in reseller space. But um, anyway, he's like, "Oh, well, let me introduce you to some guys." And he took me into the other building, and that introduced me to Chernock and Tim and all. And then I found out Tim's right up in DC. I'm in Northern Virginia, Chernock's in West Virginia, and it was like, I'm just some random dude looking at a clothes rack, and here is Eric, with his big burly red beard. "Hey man, you got a YouTube channel?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm trying, but that's just who he is, He's like all of them. So it's no surprise that marketplace is growing, because I've met the guys, they're all genuine. Well, I haven't met Chernock. I have not met him yet, but I've talked to him, on Instant Messenger and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, they're themselves, which is nice to see.
I'll tell you guys something. I'm sorry, Brandon, but Eric was told me he was going to the 411, which is one that goes from Alabama up to it goes from Georgia through Alabama up to Tennessee, and it's like August, September time, and I know he's been doing this for about 4 years. And he did it with Rev Resale, which I speak highly of. They're not really into the game too much. He's a restoration now, and he does car stuff, and his channel's amazing. He has like 50,000 subscribers. But Eric's like, I can pick you up. I can come to your house. Now listen, I got this big burly guy, okay, with a red beard. He's bigger than me. I'm a big guy. Okay, Chris will tell you I'm a big guy. Brandon will tell you I'm a big guy. And you got this big guy. He stayed at my house. Now, my wife is black. I'm not going to say African American. She's black. Like, straight up, my wife is black, okay? And we have a spare bedroom. My house is clean. So he comes in, and when he left, once we left, and I came back home, and she said, "That guy can stay at my house anytime." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She goes, he is he real? I'm like, "Yeah, he's real." And like, for real. I mean, Rachel, I don't know if you know this. I don't care if anybody knows. Eric he's a Christian. Okay. Most of us are Christians. If you're not, it is what it is. There's no disrespect. But he's just a down-to-earth guy. And he's huge. And my wife was a little afraid in the beginning. She got this big Caucasian red beard guy that her husband says is okay, and he came to the house, and he was just amazing. And like Brandon's saying, it means a lot. We can meet through the internet, and I've met people through the internet, and I'm going to say it on this channel. I don't really normally say it, that most of you guys don't like on the internet. And in person, they were the nicest people I ever met in my life. Let me stay at their house, gave me a pillow, I mean, to me, you give me a pillow and a glass of water. I mean, it's a blessing, because I might not be given that anywhere else. And when they're on the internet, they're different. They're keyboard warriors. And that's not what I'm about. I'm about trying to help people. And if we can build a community, I don't want to be better than any other podcast. I want to be a podcast that we are who we are, and we all agree. And if we have a problem, we shut the camera off and we talk about it. Like, it's not but BS. There's no BS. So we appreciate any of you guys that watch, any of you guys that tell your friends. Like, I'm not trying to steal the RIN thing, but tell a friend to tell a friend about Buck Martin's Barn. And we appreciate it. And I'm going to shut up because I know Chris wants me to shut up. That's it.
I was muted. Sorry. No, you didn't have to shut up, but I need you to answer a couple questions. Okay, because McLeod's got some questions here about district. He says, how can you apply to become how can you apply and I guess applied to become a seller also on RN. I don't remember the exact way I did. It just seems like when I opened up the app, it says to follow or apply to follow or something like that, or to join the marketplace, and then it gives you a different thing to apply for a seller, if I recall correctly.
So I'm gonna combine his message there and his
Yeah,
other message.
yeah. Can you
Um,
do that? Can you, and I got my dog's going crazy. Let me go take care of my dog real quick. If y'all handle that for him, please. Thank you.
okay, so District is the overall website and platform. It's district.net. That is the main platform. Think about, you go to eBay and then there's many, many, many different eBay stores inside of eBay. District is the main platform. The RIN one stop shop, well, it's one stop shop by RIN. That is a marketplace inside of District. So Crazy Lamp Lady has a marketplace. Craigslist Hunter has one. RIN has one. There's I don't even know how many marketplaces in there now. What you need to do is if you want to join the one stop shop, which I would suggest, throwing a little plug for Leroy and the guys, you go to the search bar and you would search for their marketplace. And then when you do that, you would let me make sure I don't mislead you here. It should have a button that says become a member. And then once you become a member, it should have another button that I think would be right beside that that says become a seller or request to become a seller or something like that. And then you would go in there. It's just a few questions that they would ask you. Now, not all marketplaces are going to be the same. Some are going to have a much deeper screening process or requirements to be a seller or what have you. I don't know what Eric and all of those guys have put in. I don't want to speak on that part. Um, some will have, they're going to have easier access to be a seller. To Rachel's question, can you join multiple marketplaces as a seller? Yes, 100%. I am a seller because I'm an authorized dealer for Certified Collectible Group, which is CGC, a grading company. That's where I first started on District. Then I joined the guys over at RIN. I'm pretty sure you can probably go on there and join all the marketplaces and apply to be a seller on all of them. Now, I don't want to get into details because I don't know all of them. The selling fees are different based on which marketplace. I
Yeah.
do know that is one thing. And I believe marketplaces have rules to where you can't sell the same item in different marketplaces. Like you could
Yes,
do 10
on
items at this one. Go ahead, Leroy.
Go ahead.
our platform, One Stop Shop, we ask if you please don't list the same item in 3 other categories that you do in ours, because it becomes a hectic thing. And right now, District really has a hard time dealing with that. I'm not saying they can't deal with that, but I've as from what I've seen on the other side of being where I am in One Stop Shop. I'm like one of the main guys in One Stop Shop. So I don't know as much as Eric and all those guys do know, but I do know it does cause a lot of friction if you list 7 things in my platform and then the same platforms. We ask right now until they figure it out. We ask if you can just list the same item in our platform and not list that in another platform. But Rachel,
Marketplace. We need
yeah,
a clear marketplace within District.
yes,
Right. Yeah, we don't want because when it was first explained to me, I was confused as when it was talking about platforms. I was thinking, oh no, I can't sell in District or in more on in the marketplace in District of what I sell in eBay. It's got to be something separate. But from my understanding, it's only within District. The marketplace is within District that you don't want to sell the same thing in the different marketplaces. Correct?
Right. Yeah.
yeah,
But you could join, like, you know, I'll just use this as an example. Let's say you have vintage shirts that you want to sell in the one-stop shop, but then maybe you feel glass or a lamp. I'll go a lamp because it's Crazy Lamp Lady. Maybe you feel that your lamp's going to do better in her marketplace or whatever. You can join both marketplaces, but just put like the lamps in hers and the vintage and the RINs. The other thing though is overall you can search for any item in any marketplace straight from the district like home page search bar. So if you just wanted to be in one marketplace, you can, list your stuff there. And if somebody goes to district.net and search for an item, it's going to pull your item up. They don't have to be in that specific marketplace. So that is one of the benefits to this. I don't even know like really how beneficial it would be to have stuff in multiple marketplaces. So
yeah, because you can search. It's just like eBay. Yes, it's district, but you can go into district's main search and you can type in, a 4-foot tape measure, and my tape measure is going to come up. It's not just set to RIN. You can type in, 6-inch adjustable wrench, and my item is going to come up. So it doesn't matter what platform you're in. If you type it in district, it's going to show up throughout all tools. And that's why, Rachel, I was telling you, if you're one of the first ones to get into this platform, I'm gonna run for RIN because that's who I am. But if you could jump in with RIN and you can go into designer purses, you'll be one of the first ones in designer purses. It's still a new platform. They use a different they use Stripe. They don't use PayPal or anything. But please look into, any of you guys that are watching this, please look into it. And if you have any questions, please go to Reseller Information Network on a next Tuesday morning, and all the guys will be in there. And we have direct line 9 o'clock from 9 to 12.
9 to 12.
From 9 a.m. to 12. And we have direct line to one of the main guys there. I won't say his name. We have direct line to him. He usually gets back to us within an hour. So if we can't answer, he will give us an answer. So please give us a shout and ask us any questions you can. I'm never excited about a platform. I don't know if you guys know me. I don't sell on anything but eBay. Okay.
Well, also,
for me to be excited about,
also, I'm not going to like throw codes or anything out, but they also have the referral links. So if any of you guys that are interested have bigger social media followings,
I have a referral link below in the description. There is a referral link down there.
Yeah, if you join in, it's kind of like the Whatnot referral link thing, but you'll get your own little link and code or whatever that you can share out to all of your followers or whatever. And if people go in there, they can get $5. Yeah, they get $5 free to use towards a purchase. And then if they use that, you also get $5 in return. So if you have a large social following or whatever,
imagine if you have 200 followers and you get 200 people to follow and you get $5 times 200. I know the math.
Yes, that's like Whatnot. You give the link to Whatnot and people get a $15 credit. They just do a $5 credit. But yeah, McLeod said it best. McLeod said it best right here. Said it's just like basically it's like a mall with several stores in it. That's basically what it is. That's how. And then those several stores allow a person to come in and set up shop. I don't believe it's considered a consignment shop. I don't know the back door part of all the finances and all that, or what RIN does with all that. I don't know, or any marketplace, the owner of the marketplace. I don't know what they get out of us selling in their store. I don't know if it's like a consignment thing or anything, but
I'll tell you right now. Hold on, stop.
Well, I didn't want to put it out there, Leroy. I'll let you go through that.
I'm gonna put it out there. I don't give a crap. We made $3 so far. So I appreciate everybody who's been there. I mean, I might see 7 cents of that $3, but I appreciate all of you guys.
That's a very small percentage then, Leroy, I guess, right? So I guess, guys, you can look at it as a consignment shop inside of a mall. Many different consignment shops inside of a mall. You sell inside their store, and they get a very small percentage of what you sell. And I don't think that comes out of your funds. I think that's just part of the fees, the total fees. And is that correct, Leroy?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, that was a good talk on that, because that's something new, and it seems like everybody's talking about it. There's a lot of people out there that don't know a whole lot about it, and I'm glad we covered that, and so my viewers can learn a little more about it. But like Leroy says, you guys, let's see. Well, Chris, I clicked your link to set up second time shop. Well, thank you, McLeod. I appreciate that. I know McLeod. I know who this person is, so. Thank you. I appreciate that. But I'm really glad we covered this issue, because a lot of, like we said, even Rachel didn't know about this. So this is great information for everyone else. And hopefully it will help others that don't know a whole lot about it, help them understand a little more too. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Well, with that said, we have. Go ahead, Leroy.
No, I think you're gonna go on the same spot as I am, time wise.
Oh yeah. We've been an hour and 41 minutes. Yeah, we really put it to it today, and I just want to thank Brandon for being on here. Brandon, if you got anything you want to say to everybody about what you got upcoming or anything, now's a good time to do that, buddy.
Oh, I don't have nothing upcoming except for a busy life. November and December is real busy, and then you try to resell and get all that going too. But no, thank you to both of you to having me on. I'll see if I don't get kicked off of here. We won't go into that. But anyway, no, y'all can find me at 540 Flips. If you got any questions, I do have my Instagram under that name. I have a YouTube under that name. If you're into these sports cards or whatever, I can help out there as well. I do run a grading submission service and all of that. If you ever need any help or just questions, feel free to reach out. I'll be willing to help. So
awesome.
And if you ever need to know how much something is worth, be sure you hit Leroy up and ask him how much something you should sell it for.
Right? Yeah, that's what you did. Leroy, go ahead and tell everybody what you got coming up.
Brandon is a joke. Okay. He's already fired. He didn't sign the contract. Okay. So Brandon's fired. Okay. He's not allowed on this
show. It wouldn't be the first time.
If you're still on this podcast after an hour and 43 minutes, okay, Brandon just got fired, okay, because he crossed the line with the tool guy, okay. But no, I'm gonna tell you guys, I appreciate these guys. I personally am gonna put it out there right from the rip. I can't do every week. I would love to be able to do this twice a month. It's Chris's channel, so whatever he thinks of, we would love to have Brandon again. I was joking, give him a little plead, but if he is willing to come on, I will send him a contract next week. With all the guidelines of what he needs to follow to be continued on this. Showing $10,000 Ricky Mantles is not an option, because we don't have to. It's the $300 Swan, okay, and I was excited, and Brandon just got a $300 offer on a $900 card, and now I'm supposed to be cool. I'm not cool. Like, it's not cool.
Hey, every sale is a good sale.
But, oh yeah.
But I care about both these guys. Personally, guys, you got to realize, if you can, Chris and Brandon have not met, but 2 out of the 3 have met, all of us, and to have that kind of a bond is very important. There's a little bit more respect in someone. So I respect both of these guys highly. And I got nothing going on Thanksgiving dinner. And if I don't get off the computer soon, I'll be staying at one of your houses because I've been here too long. I was supposed to be home by 7. So
Oh no.
I'm literally going to click the button.
Yeah, you're in the
Thank
doghouse
everybody,
for real.
Chris. I'll talk to you soon. And
All right, Leroy.
thank you.
All right, have a good one, buddy.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank
guys.
you guys.
Guys, I got just want to let everyone know next week we will not be doing the show next week because of being the holiday. Thursday's Thanksgiving. My whatnot show that I normally do on Thursdays, it will be done on Friday next week. So come out and join me on whatnot. The links below. I do the antique shop there, and it's kind of like a shop and walk. And I do hope we can keep Brandon twice a month, or he can come on more than that if he wants to. I really enjoyed this. Was a good information show here, Brandon. I'm really glad that you was able to join us today, and I greatly appreciate that, man. I mean, I've been keeping up. We've had more views in this show than we've had for a while. So you bringing us some people in, so that's nice. But guys, I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you got everything. I hope you've got something out of this one. I certainly did. And we'll see you guys on the next show.